Should colonization be blamed for a 33-year-old man choking and assaulting a 28-month-old baby? I'm Helen Escott, author and crime historian. Today's crime happened in 2025, but it's blamed on the past. An Indigenous man in BC received a lighter sentence than the Crown had sought for 2 assaults on his girlfriend's 2-year-old child last year. The judge cited the effects of colonization as one of those mitigating factors. In her April 7th sentencing decision, BC Provincial Court Judge Tamira Golinsky sentenced a 33-year-old man to 2 concurrent sentences of 6 months in jail after he acknowledged choking and kicking his girlfriend's 28-month-old baby. Both were captured on a nanny cam in the toddler's room, so this is not a he said, she said scenario. There's a video of these brutal attacks. The Crown had been seeking 1 year in jail, and defense lawyers were asking for a conditional sentence of 2 years less a day to be served in the community. Now, the man is referred to only by his initials, KJM, due to a publication ban to protect the identity of the child. The judge described the assaults as serious and deliberate acts of violence that would have an inevitable effect on the child. The judge cited KJM's history of substance abuse and traumatic brain injury sustained in an ATV accident and the effects of colonization as mitigating factors in her sentencing decision. Other mitigating factors included that the man had no criminal record and was remorseful for his actions. Here are some things the judge noted. The man did have a non-traditional upbringing, but who does these days? He lacks Indigenous status. He was not impacted by government policies such as residential schools, nor was his family. The judge wrote that even the disassociation with one's past and cultural heritage is a negative consequence of colonization. Was it colonization that caused this grown man to beat up a baby? Well, according to a psychiatric report, his violent actions were partly fueled by substance use, poor stress and coping, and his brain injury from that ATV accident. However, the judge found that the traumatic brain injury was not a primary factor in causing the assaults, nor was his use of cocaine, since he wasn't on drugs at the time of the assaults, and knew that his rising frustration and resulting actions were wrong. The attacks occurred in June of 2025 when he was living with the woman and her child for roughly a year. He said the toddler was difficult and would attack his siblings. The man said the child would smear his feces on the wall, often without consequences from his mother. He and his girlfriend would also lock the child in the bedroom so he wouldn't cause trouble, and expressed no concern with locking a toddler in a room for extended periods of time while unsupervised by an adult, according to the court reports. The court found that in the first attack, the man went into the child's bedroom and hit him with the door, then kicked and choked the toddler on the floor while the child screamed. In the second assault 2 days later, he kicked the child once in the face or forehead with his bare foot and then left the bedroom. The attacks were revealed when the child's mother noticed an injury and looked at the nanny cam footage. She then contacted authorities, thank God. The Crown argued that the child, who is now 4, had not suffered serious long-term harm from the attacks, which the judge attributed to good fortune. But yet, the man who wasn't colonized has serious long-term effects from it. He pleaded guilty to the attacks. His half-year jail sentence will be followed by 18 months of probation with strict conditions and mandatory counseling. So, did this 33-year-old man choke and kick a baby because of colonization? A 28-month-old baby cannot defend itself. When a grown man puts his hands around the baby's neck, that baby cannot stop him. At that point, that baby only knows fear.